Hey, it's your girl Jennifer, and this is Leadership Matters. Real quick, just got done walking the dog and was thinking, I get a lot of clarity when I'm out walking her and in nature, but was thinking that everything takes time. We live in a microwave society where everybody wants everything now. You're looking for a job, you want that job now. You're looking to lose weight, you want to lose weight now. You want to, whatever it is, you want to buy a house, you want the house now. You want to buy a car, you want the car now. You want to glow up, you want to glow up now. Everything takes time, including training and development. If you're not already in the field and you're getting ready to or looking to go into the field, everything takes time. Seed, time, and harvest. There is a time to plant the seed. And then once you plant the seed, this year I did an herb garden. This was my first year having a successful herb garden. And I first had to plant the seeds. I've done that before, and not taking good care of those seeds. They began to sprout, not, taking out the weaker stems or giving, they crowded out, not giving them the plant space to grow. I lost them. They did not thrive that season. This year, I bought them already planted, and I put them into their respective, I did a container garden this year, put them into respective containers, but it still took time for them to get acclimated, time for them to grow, time for them to produce the harvest, right? Seed, time, and harvest. So I want to say to you that everything takes time, and in your seed, time, and harvest, I want you to think about what seeds are you planting? What are you doing if you are developing a skill set, how are you developing that skill set? What kind of time are you putting into developing that skill set so that you will eventually see a harvest? I can guarantee you will see a harvest. I have multiple certifications I've talked about before on this channel, videos regarding whether or not I think that advanced degrees and certifications are worthwhile, or whether or not they were worthwhile for me. But I put in the time. That's the seed, to go and develop those skill sets. And they have produced a harvest. It may not be the harvest that I thought or anticipated. It did not come through in the time frame that I may have thought or anticipated. But I do use those skills. And I still continue to plant seeds, develop my skill set, grow so that I can see a different harvest later on. So I just want to say everything takes time. If you're a trainer and you're developing training for a client, everything takes time. Yes, your client is going to want it immediately, ASAP, because a lot of times the problem has been misdiagnosed, or they're throwing training at a situation that training will never, ever address. And you have to have time to truly do what you do, what you're an expert at, which is to diagnose the situation and provide, if merited, a holistic training solution that will address the behaviors that need to be changed in order to get the increased performance or different performance that the client is seeking. And sometimes, just like when we hire someone to do work for us on a personal nature, for example, or even in a business nature, if you are not, you're not a graphic artist, you don't know how to do a logo or whatever, and you want to design a business card, to design a website, or help you design your portfolio. For some of you who are developing your portfolio for training and for transitioning into training and development, because it's not your expertise, you call in someone who is their job to develop this and use the standards and use the spacing and have the eye for design and use all their training and all their expertise and experience to develop a portfolio that's going to stand out, that's going to be accepted, that's going to be recognized. You don't try to do those things yourself. Unfortunately, in our field, there's a lot of ad hoc, and I've talked about this: training, shadowing, sitting side by side, having someone who's great on your team, who's an individual contributor who does excellent work, train your new hires. There's a lot more that goes into training than sitting side by side and shadowing somebody while they do their job. There's a lot of understanding that has to go into why you do the things you do, how you do the things you do, what happens if you have a problem doing things that you do, how you can problem solve in that area. And that's where formal training comes in, because it's our job to diagnose the situation. It's our job to determine all the behaviors and all the tools and all the systems and any of those things that go into being able to do your job well. So I just want to say, everything takes time. Don't be discouraged if things are not happening overnight. Don't be discouraged, or don't be surprised is a better way to say it, when people ask you for things overnight, when they want things yesterday. Everybody's 5-alarm fire is not yours. So and we'll talk in another time, because I've had other people ask me about being micromanaged as a trainer, and I've talked about the importance of setting expectations, and I am very, very good. I've had to become very, very good at helping individuals to set their expectations, especially as it relates to the demands that I allow to be placed on me. And that just comes from years of being in this field, and that's from understanding what I can and cannot do, and what I do well, and what I require from a partnership, because that's what I think of it as, a partnership. And so I always say those things up front in those initial conversations with a client or with a contracted position or what have you, that this is what I require, this is how I work. Will that work for you? Because if it doesn't work for them, it's ultimately not going to work for me, and it won't be a fruitful relationship. I am happy to say that I've never had a situation where we could not see eye to eye, we could not work together, and where I didn't have a client who walked away with a greater appreciation of what it takes to do my job and what I can provide for them that they could not provide for themselves, that they had no knowledge of before having me come in and do some of this work for them. So again, I just wanted to pop on and just remind you that everything takes time. Everything takes time. It takes time to get into your position. It takes time to get good at what you're doing and to get your feet under you. It takes time to feel confident about what you bring to the table. And it takes time to deliver a quality program that is holistic in nature and addresses the issues, and that you can rest assured that when a return on investment or some levels of evaluations are done, which a lot of people don't do anymore, but when you do your levels of evaluations, even if it's a number one, even if it's a smiley sheet, which is your initial reaction from your participants, that the participants will feel like it was time well spent. Okay? If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload new content, and I'll see you in my next video.